And the Rush say they're ready to bring home another league title, but they're depending on the support of their fans, the best fans in the CHL, to make it happen. During the course of the Sock Show, maintenance and HVAC workers replaced more than 6,000 of these air filters throughout the Civic Center. That's more than any other event throughout the year. Mammoth Homes is not only building houses, but infrastructure in Fall River County as well. They say they hope to have as many as 80 employees by the end of this summer. But the roundup is no Sunday ride in the park. Riders and their horses, like Dodger here, need to be experienced. Science and technology are growing industries across the state, and companies like Lankota Group of Huron say they're looking for employees to not only have the skills, but understand the needs of South Dakota as well. It's not hard to see why all flights were canceled today due to low visibility, and airport officials say safety is their #1 priority for both their passengers and their pilots. For many college graduates, leaving the comfort of the classroom for the realities of the working world can be scary. But for Carlos Beatty, there's nothing but opportunity on the horizon.
I think it's really enlightening to see School of Mines graduates, guys who were just in our shoes just a few years ago, go out into industry, become the successes they are, come back and want to help out the students, try and get them into that niche.
And students from the School of Mines should be confident in their future. The school boasts a 95% job placement, and employers are not just testing the waters at job fairs like this.
What's really encouraging is they are coming in truly looking for students to fill co-ops and internships and job placement. Some years they're coming in and they don't have that many openings.
Science and technology are growing industries across the state, and companies like Lankota Group of Huron say they're looking for employees to not only have the skills, but understand the needs of South Dakota as well. Students we talked to say they're interested in taking their classroom experience and transferring it to the job field.
And the goal is to stay here.
And a number of companies are looking for just that, employees who want to engineer the future of South Dakota.
That's what we look for. I respect somebody that has had their hands dirty, and there's a lot of guys that grew up on small farms that, you know, they were good at the math and good at everything and had the capabilities to do the engineering, but they still want to go back and work in the ag base.
A base that's not only good for the state, but for students looking for a job in a growing field. Amy Wright, News Center 1. Well, Adam, as you can see, the snow is still falling and temperatures are expected to remain below 0 throughout the night. This was the scene earlier this afternoon on Deadwood Avenue. You can see how the snow was starting to build up. Mayor Hanks says in order for the plows to get out and clear the streets, there needs to be at least a few inches of snow on the ground. Meanwhile, today, many drivers battled with the snow and slick conditions on their way to and from work. Now, the snow is expected to continue until about midnight, and for all the latest road conditions, you can log on to our website, newscenter1.tv, and check out a link to safetravelusa.com. Adam, back to you. It's beginning to look a lot like playoffs, and Rush officials say, even though it's the first round, this year seems reminiscent of last year's championship season.
Last year, very similar to this year. The team was able to win home ice advantage, and last year played a huge role. I remember in the Bossier Series, game number 7 was here on home ice, and that helped out the Rush tremendously. So home ice is a huge thing, and if the fans come out, they'll be looking at another championship contender.
After battling it out for the first place seed, players and coaches alike agree home ice is where the heart is.
We worked hard through the 66 games to get this home ice, and you know, obviously that home ice advantage gives you that extra game in the playoffs, but you still got to come to play, still got to play hard, because you know Dayton's coming in here, they're going to want to upset the defending champion.
And the Rush say they're ready to bring home another league title, but they're depending on the support of their fans, the best fans in the CHL, to make it happen.
Playing here in Rapid City at home is a big advantage, just like having a 7th man on the ice all the time.
Oh, it's so huge for us. I mean, it's almost like having an extra player out there.
And with a little less than 1,000 tickets still available for this series, officials say there's plenty of room to get in on the action.
Playoffs are 10 times more exciting than the regular season. Clean hockey, a lot more intensity. Every shot brings you to the edge of your seats. So if there's any hockey to go to, it's playoff hockey.
You know, I'm excited for how loud it's going to be in this building for the playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun.
In Rapid City, Amy Wright, News Center 1. Well, I'm here with our pet of the week, Hooch. Hooch is a 2.5-year-old pit bull with Chow Chow mix, and he's good with other dogs and will make a great addition to any size family. He's sweet and affectionate and loves to play, and he's been at the shelter for a while and can't wait to go to his forever home. And you can visit Hooch at the Humane Society this weekend. He'll be glad to see you. While many see a tourist town, Jeff Seidel saw mammoth potential in the otherwise quiet city of Hot Springs. In January, Mammoth Homes, a modular home manufacturer, set up shop just outside of Hot Springs on Highway 79. And for Seidel, the decision to come to Fall River County was an easy one.
Fall River County has been very good to us, and we appreciate that. And then the workforce, the labor force down here is wonderful. It's just a good group of people, and Hot Springs needs a shot in the arm like this, and so it's a win-win situation.
Although a number of businesses downtown are locally owned, Hot Springs mainly depends on the VA hospital for employment. And while the majority of its residents are of retirement age, city officials say there is still a need for economic diversity and higher paying jobs.
It's very positive. Anything that we can see for economic development and jobs is really crucial to the small towns all over South Dakota. And anything that would happen in Edgemont or Ulrichs, Custer, Hot Springs, it kind of helps all of us. So
Mammoth Homes is not only building houses, but infrastructure in Fall River County as well. They say they hope to have as many as 80 employees by the end of this summer. And for many, like Ken Sawyer, having a good paying job that's close to home is money in the bank.
Having to commute to Rapid would be an hour drive, which having this local is very nice for the community and for all the people and wanting to have a good job. This is a good place to be.
And for Hot Springs, it's good news to have business neighbors who have its people in mind.
it's just good for the whole area. We're excited about it, and we sure welcome them to the community.
In Hot Springs, Amy Wright, News Center 1.
News Center 1's Amy Wright has more on that side of the story tonight.
Well, Adam, the Black Hills chapter of the American Red Cross hasn't been asked to respond, but if needed, they could. Meanwhile, the Japanese Red Cross Society has extraordinary disaster response capabilities and has mobilized 11 teams to heavily damaged communities to provide assessments and first aid as they prepare to supply emotional support and relief. The American Red Cross is in communication through its global partners with the Pacific nations that sustain the most damage and stands to be ready and provide assistance as needed. Even the Black Hills chapter of the American Red Cross will provide supplies if needed, but as I said, so far they haven't been asked to provide assistance.
Right now, we're not doing anything for the Japanese earthquake and tsunami that's resulted in that, but nationally the Red Cross here is helping. They set up shelters in Hawaii when they were concerned about the impact that the tsunami may have there, and then
shelters have also been set up in California, Washington, and Oregon as well. Some chapters of the American Red Cross in the U.S. have been activated to provide assistance, including some volunteers in Northwest Iowa. Adam, back to you.